Hey there guys. In my last video I spoke about mirtazapine and recovering from mirtazapine. I was 7 days off when I made that video and now I'm 44 days off today, so I figured I'll tell you something about it. So as I've said before, I don't really like making videos when I'm down. So a lot of the time I avoid making videos about, I don't really want to make videos like when I seem down or when I seem negative about something. Usually I try and if I'm making a video, I want to make it so that other people can learn something from it, or that it can be used to inspire other people in their own journey, because there's many people that struggle with similar things to what I've been going through. And there's a good chance that you're one of them right now. So I started taking mirtazapine in 2019, and I came off it 44 days ago, like I already said. But for a while, for like a year, I was probably only on 7.5. And then for a few months, I was only on 3.75. I actually tapered it pretty low. I did a liquid taper for a few weeks, for like a month maybe. The final week I was under 1 milligram, and that was when it got pretty difficult. The thing is with taking mirtazapine is that I never recovered from my problem. My underlying issue never changed. I have severe sort of anxiety disorder, or at least that's what it's called, I guess. And it didn't really change. It only improved a certain amount, maybe 10%. It didn't solve it. It hasn't changed it. It hasn't really changed it that much. It hasn't given me my old life back. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was right, I'm done with this. I've been on this long enough. I don't want to take it anymore. I don't want to take it anymore. And now it's I'm fighting for real recovery, which will hopefully be a lot better. I'll say that when I made that video, when I was 7 days out, I was still struggling quite a lot. Now I've improved on a lot of things. I exercise every day now. I cycle every day, indoor cycling anyway. I do yoga every day, 30 to 40 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of cycling every day, and 30 to 40 minutes of yoga every day, or at least, yeah, apart from Sundays. I feel like the yoga is I feel I don't know, you deal with your withdrawal your own way, but for me it's I feel like the yoga kind of does let out a bit of tension. So that's a good thing. But yeah, when I first came off, I was pretty shaky. I was I'd shake. I just really struggled. It's I didn't really feel like I was in control of my own body, which is a really strange feeling. But I've had that a few times. And my advice would be to someone that's in the position I was, and bear in mind, okay, so the first thing I want to say is, you will recover. You will recover. Nobody dies from mirtazapine withdrawal. Now, if you're anything like me, you're very skeptical about what anyone says, and so you'll go and verify what I've just said, and you'll find 1 or 2 cases where people have died. Those people didn't die from mirtazapine withdrawal. Those people died because they had other complicated issues. The one case I saw of someone dying on mirtazapine, he had schizophrenia or psychosis, 1 or 2. And he was on stuff like Tapering, Seroquel. And he'd recently quit that as well. And he went, and then he was climbing the roofs and doing crazy things. And he didn't die from the withdrawal. He still didn't die from the withdrawal. what he died from was his own actions. You're not going to do that. You're not going to want to do that. That's like a very, very rare reaction. Like, you're more likely to win the lottery than you are do something crazy like that. Now maybe if you and plus that was cold turkey. If you do things properly, if you taper, whatever, just at least a little bit. You don't go cold turkey off the highest dose like some of these people did. You're not going to die. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But you're not going to die. And you might believe you're going to die at some point. But that's just your mind tricking you. Because it's freaking out, because it's had like this layer of ignorance for so long. Like it has like your coping mechanism has been pulled from under you, and you just don't know what, you're freaking out. So that sucks, but you're not going to die. You will not die. So just know that. But at my worst, I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. And that was a struggle. I'd get to the point where I'd close my eyes for hours and I'd just see this like light. Well, not light, I'd see, like, when you close your eyes and you can see the lights on kind of thing? It's like that. And I just wouldn't do anything. Like, I wasn't asleep. I was just staring at my eyelids for hours. But I wasn't able to sleep. And I'd get to this point where if I was close to drifting off, I'd feel sometimes like, I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm finally falling asleep. And just as I was on the edge of like that sort of, where your body sort of shuts down and you do drift off into sleep, my body would actually sort of go like that. It'd be like, whoa, you're not ready to go to sleep. Fuck that. And so I couldn't sleep. And every time I get close to sleeping, I just be like, whoa. You can't sleep. You can't sleep. It's like my brain just didn't want to sleep. It's like, I need to keep you awake. Like, yeah, that sucks. So, yeah, for me, I struggled to sleep for 3 days. I took over-the-counter sleeping pill. Didn't do anything. It won't do anything. Don't bother taking it. There's no point. It won't do anything. There is stuff that will help you get to sleep. But the question is it worth it? Now, I made the mistake of taking an over-the-counter sleeping pill. It did nothing. So then I took a different sleeping pill, which was a prescribed pill, which I don't use ever. It's not a benzo. It's just it's promethazine. You can get it over the counter, actually. That did do something, but then I was physically paralysed for a while, which is less than ideal because I needed to go to the toilet and I couldn't move. And when I finally could move, I couldn't move in a straight line, so I just collapsed on the floor. And then I had a panic attack on the floor. So my advice, if you're sort of thinking about taking something to sleep, is to just bear in mind that maybe it's not worth it. If I went back, I'd try and go longer. It's probably not worth getting into the situation that I got myself into, but I'm still alive, so it's all good. But yeah, you will get through it, same as I did. Just try and force yourself to like do things, like even like slowly. Don't force yourself to run a marathon, but like just every day, like just do 5 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes more the next day or whatever, or as slow as you can go, or as much as you feel comfortable with. It will be uncomfortable though, but you won't die. And if you sort of remember to sort of like go through the fear, then you'll come out on the other side, hopefully. I said in my previous video that I would start microdosing magic mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. I did. I did start slowly doing that, when I made that video, I hadn't done that. And you've probably seen the video, and I probably don't look too great. I mean, I never look too great, but definitely didn't look too great probably in that one. Yeah, so I started really low dose, below what other people mostly use. And I didn't feel much. It wasn't like I felt anything. Didn't feel anything. But I did it again 2 days later, or one or 2 days later. I did it again maybe. And I think once I got to like 20 to 25 milligrams of psilocybin mushroom, I noticed one of the days where I listened to music again. Like I put this music on and I listened to it and I felt the music. It was like I felt it. Like I enjoyed listening to the music, which I hadn't done the entire time I was on mirtazapine. I realised I hadn't enjoyed music at all. It was like the first time I enjoyed music. I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. So that was my brain healing, I guess. And it's still healing now. It's not like I'm 100% better, like I'm still healing, but yeah, I'm just taking it day by day. You know, each day is a new day. You take it day by day. I kept on microdosing. I think there was one point where I took like a 7-day break, or a 6-day break maybe. And then I started again. I've been doing it again. And now I'm on like a normal microdose, sorry. So like 50 milligrams is what I did yesterday. And then later on in the evening, I sat there and I was like, I feel kind of normal. Like I just feel like my old self for the first time. So I guess that's helping. It's hard to know. It's hard to say for sure. But yeah, if you're struggling with that, like, it might be worth looking into. I'm gonna keep on doing it, the microdosing. But I'll make a separate video about that. For me, nothing else has worked, ever. Pills never worked. They don't do anything. Medical cannabis doesn't really work for me either. So for me, it's like microdosing, I feel like, is one of the few options that I have. And so that's what I'm doing. And we'll find out if it works, I guess. But hopefully, maybe this video will help you if you're coming off mirtazapine. I'm going to do a separate video on how you can do a liquid taper. Because it's not that difficult, it's pretty easy. But that will be in a different video. And then I'll do a video about microdosing as well. So, anyway, see you soon.